All right, we start the noon with a live look around Colorado right now. We're dealing with some strong wind that's causing some significant impacts around town this morning. Winds up to 75 miles per hour were reported at Centennial Airport. And taking a live look across the state, right now high wind and a warning is in effect through midnight near the foothills. And so far today, hundreds of flights have been delayed or canceled at Denver's airport. FlightAware is reporting 767 flight delays and 37 cancellations. The airport says you need to check your airline for the latest flight information if you are traveling today. And the powerful wind continues to tear across Colorado today. It's knocking things down like trees. This one fell down in Centennial. Here's what the homeowner had to say about it.
I saw the tree completely down on my house. The tree that was here, well, I've been here 20 years, and it's probably, 35, 40 feet now. And I think I got lucky because it hit the corner and it spared my windows, I think.
Good job for that guy. Doesn't have to call the window repair guy. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jeremy Hohola.
I'm Chris Bianchi, and of course, the wind is our big story today here, Jeremy. I think we are going to be talking about that wind continuing for the next couple of hours. The good news is tomorrow we are still looking at wind, but it won't be as bad tomorrow.
Good thing. Good thing, unless you're like into kite flying or something like that. Today's the day to do it.
And even today, boy, it might be a little bit rough for even some of those kites. But in the meantime, the story today, again, it's those winds, and they have been relentless all morning long. I don't know about you. I woke up at about 4 o'clock this morning to that wind rattling my windows. I'm sure a lot of you feeling the same way. And unfortunately, those winds not going anywhere for the next couple of hours. But we did see a peak gust of about 96 mile an hour atop Cheyenne Mountain. That is, of course, just southwest Colorado Springs, and Boulder. 87 mile an hour wind gust earlier on. Aurora, 76 mile an hour gust. And those winds will continue, as I mentioned, for the next few hours. High wind warnings continue for us here across the foothills and down here into southern Colorado as well. Those will continue for the next couple of hours. Winds right now, 56 mile an hour gust at the Rocky Mountain Airport in Broomfield, 47 mile an hour wind gusts at DIA. We were just talking about all those delays. One of the issues, we're getting a due westerly wind, which means that they can only use 2 runways at the airport right now. And that's part of the reason why we're seeing such a delay-filled day out at the airport. So in terms of those winds, when will this come to an end? So as we head over the next couple of hours, those winds, unfortunately, pretty much the same, maybe decreasing a little bit through this afternoon, but in the foothills, these winds actually rev up tonight. So those winds will actually intensify in the foothills tonight. Along and east of I-25, they will improve come 6, 7 o'clock or so, but in the foothills, those winds will get stronger. Tomorrow, it is still windy, but not as bad as today. Details on tomorrow and perhaps another windy day on Wednesday coming up in my full forecast.
All righty, well, Red Rocks has canceled the concert happening tonight, all because of that wind Chris has been talking about. Hippocampus was supposed to perform. Refunds are available where you bought your tickets. And this morning, the wind knocked down a big signpost hanging over I-25 near 53rd. I-25 was closed for about 90 minutes and caused some significant traffic delays. Crews had to cut about 3 feet of a pole so cars could pass around. They reopened the interstate just before 6 o'clock this morning. Colorado lawmakers have reached a bipartisan property tax deal just in the nick of time. The proposed bill would include long-term tax rate cuts for homeowners and businesses, and also with a local revenue cap. In just the last 45 minutes, we heard from a few lawmakers.
This is huge. We're talking about a huge property tax cut for property owners without crippling our state budget. This bill will reduce property taxes, in Colorado by $1.3 billion in the first year. We will be providing homeowners and business owners with immediate financial relief.
The bill keeps property tax rates steady this year and backfills lost revenue to local governments and schools. In 2025, the bill would limit how much property taxes local governments could bring in, with the exemption of school districts. The bill was introduced at the last minute and could still be drastically amended by the end of today. If it passes committee this afternoon, it will be rushed to a full vote on the floor. And we are following this bill, and we'll bring you the latest on Next with Kyle Clark tonight at 6 o'clock. And now to the latest between Hamas and Israel after Hamas agreed to a proposed ceasefire. It calls for the release of 20 to 33 hostages over several weeks in exchange for a temporary ceasefire. In return, there would also be an exchange involving Palestinian prisoners. Israel reportedly has helped craft the latest agreement, but has not yet fully agreed to it yet. The CIA director is continuing negotiations today. A close call for a few teenagers. Over the weekend, they crawled through a broken gate to explore an abandoned missile silo in Arapahoe County. One of the teens fell about 30 feet and was seriously injured. First responders in Arapahoe County spent 3 hours trying to get the teens out of there. This silo is located in Deer Trail, about 50 miles east of Denver off of I-70. This all started about 3:30 Sunday morning. It took crews 3 hours to rescue 2 of the 5 teens inside. One of the teens, seriously injured, was airlifted to the hospital 5 hours later. Rescue crews told us it was one of the hardest rescues they've ever done.
At times it felt like it was just us in a kind of a dark and dank labyrinth of just a mess. And so trying to keep track of which way you're going and how many turns you went to the left and maybe a turn to the right, and that's kind of what it felt like.
The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says an 18-year-old was given a summons for trespassing. The others were released to their parents, but all of the teens could face charges for trespassing. This morning, former President Trump was fined for violating the gag order in his criminal hush money trial. This is the 10th time. The judge said this morning he will have to consider jail time because monetary fines seem to have no impact. Today, the judge fined Trump $1,000 for comments he made about the jury. Trump is facing 34 counts of falsifying business records. The charges stem from alleged hush money payments made by the former president by former Trump attorney Michael Cohen to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The payments were made before the 2016 election to stop Daniels from going public about an alleged affair with Trump a decade earlier. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denies the affair.